I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks.
Here we go. It is the Daily Puck Drop. It is a Monday version, your daily sports podcast. Here we go on a very, very significant Monday as we broadcast inside the Limbeck Lumber Studios. Contractors, they got free deliveries, everything from whole house packages to homeowner DIY projects. Give them a call. They're going to take care of you. Old school service, 206-782-3487, or visit them at limbecklumber.com. I'll tell you right now, there's not a lot of working going on down there at Limbeck Lumber today. They're going to pretend like they're working, but those boys, they are invested in the Seattle Mariners, and I wouldn't be surprised. I'd get in there early today because something tells me they may be shutting down just a tad earlier so they all can get home to watch the Mariners and the Blue Jays. Game 7, of course, we'll spend the majority of today's Daily Puck Drop on Game 7, maybe sprinkle in a little bit of Seahawks. You're going to hear from Bill Krueger, Old School Baseball, and we truly go old school baseball. We had to record today's interview on the phone with Bill. We may also get a Dugar report, but there's some technical problems. Google it. It's on Twitter around the world right now with outages and things and all that kind of stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, without fear, we've got him, our man. From Bend, Oregon, ladies and gentlemen, he joins us Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. It's the go-to guy, James Moore, brought to you by...
Hey, Puck, I don't understand why other people have so many technical problems because I'm usually, here front and center with a clear broadcast. So, that must be frustrating to you. When Krueger and Dugar and Condota, can't they get up to speed with the technical?
It's not their fault. Age? It's a world outage right now. Jim, you're not aware of there's a world outage going on right now.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised it's working for you.
I am too. I've moved indoors to my Cougar room. You see the Cougar stuff in the back there. I'm all fired up.
Don't see it.
Cougs.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't see it. All right.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay. I'm sponsored by 3 different sponsors. Did you know that?
I sure did. I was at one of your sponsors Saturday night.
The Angry Beaver?
Yes.
Were you? How was it?
Depressing.
Okay, but
not the Angry Beaver,
itself?
not Matt Baker, not the service, not the drinks, not the food, none of that. It was the ending was depressing.
It was depressing. You're right, but the ending will be better tonight at the Angry Beaver, and you have a triple header. So go to the Angry Beaver. It's the hockey headquarters. They got the Kraken and the Flyers today at 4, and then you got the M's at 5. They're going to win Game 7. You can celebrate there with straight shots with Matt. Okay, so do that, and then you got the Seahawks at 7. So check out. I
had a shot
Beaver
with Matt.
Greenwood.
He made some shot that I had. I don't even know what the hell was in it, but it was very tasty.
Was he happy to see you?
He was. Yeah. I was happy to see him. We were happy to see each other. We went in there. We went in there into the Cougs game to watch the final few minutes of it before we were going out to dinner across the street. So
yeah. Have we ever lost on a safety like that before?
I think that's the first time. I mean, we've lost a lot of ways. Not sure we've lost on a fucking safety, but boy, here we are. Not sure we've also lost on a guy calling a fair catch on a kickoff. So
no, I know.
It's the new way to lose.
And why'd we run the ball on 3rd down instead of throwing and trying to get past the yellow line? Because as soon as we punt from the 1, they're going to be in field goal range. Okay. Brad Brotherton, he's a Coug. He was probably frustrated Saturday night too. But you want to check him out at Brotherton Cadillac Northwest and Shoreline, Brotherton Cadillac Buick GMC in Renton. Family-owned hospitality. That makes a difference at brothertonauto.com. Tell them go Cougs when you see him. And then we love Brian Turner. A Clean Streak, the cleaning business in Oak Harbor, beautiful Whidbey Island. He's also got Bright Owl lighting. Get in line. You don't want to get on a ladder. You don't want to be hanging over the eave on your roof and possibly dying. So just let Brian Turner and his crew come up there and do it for you. I mean, let them just death-defy stuff.
Should be Brian's tagline. Brian's tagline, let us hang your lights so you don't die.
Yeah, well, it's true. It's true. You don't want to be hanging up there on your roof or slipping on your roof. Give them a call, 360-675-2034, or visit brightowllighting.com and have the best Christmas display in your neighborhood.
There you go. Well, I wonder how everybody's feeling here tonight. I mean, obviously, right, if you polled everyone before the season, you said, listen, you got Game 7 a chance to go to your first ever World
Oh God,
Series.
everybody says that.
I know. I'm just.
So why are you doing
Because I'm look. Can I finish my point?
that? Yeah, go ahead.
What I'm saying is that everybody's like enthusiastically signing up for that. But my point is like everyone in this city right now is on edge and it's like losing their minds of how nervous everybody is. But before the season, you would be like, I'm all in on Game 7.
Yeah. Well, as much as you think that, hey, the Mariners, they've been resilient, they've been unpredictable, and those are two factors in their favor tonight in Game 7 at Toronto. As much as you want to feel that way, you also think about the history of the Mariners and how they've blown this game or this series or that series, and you wonder if tonight they're going to run out of gas. That's what I think. I mean, I can see why Toronto's favored in this game, especially with the home record they have. But A-Rod and others were bringing up the fact that, 7 out of the last 8 times there was a Game 7 that the road team won. So that's a factor that favors the Mariners too.
I mean, I think what it favors to me, at least going into the game tonight, is that you've got everybody available pitching wise. Their bullpen is not good. It's just not. It's not as good as theirs. And so all hands are on deck tonight. It's going to be potentially the longest game ever. It's going to be like, I already texted Divish. I'm like, get ready for 4 hours because that's what it's going to be tonight.
Well, what do you think? 7 or 8 pitchers for the Mariners tonight?
Oh, 7, maybe more. I mean, I think everyone's. I mean, you're Kirby, Wu, Miller, everybody in the bullpen. I mean, everybody, every available arm not named Luke Jackson and Caleb Ferguson, they're all available. I mean, he's not going to screw around unless, George Kirby comes out and is brilliant and can kind of get through that. He will not see that lineup a third time through. There's zero chance of that. That is not going to happen at all.
I wouldn't say it's zero. If he mows him down, twice through the order,
0.0%. There is no way you really think he'll let him? I don't think he'll let him see that lineup.
I'll go $10. He goes through part of the third. 10.
He's not going to see. He's not going to see Vlad Guerrero a third time.
No, they need to walk him every time. By the way,
there's just no way he's going to see that guy a third time. So,
do you think he'll be good? Do you think Kirby's going to be good tonight? Do you think he'll shine in the moment?
I do.
Why?
Well, because he's a very good pitcher, number one. He does something that the other guys don't do. And now he doesn't live up there. You're going to hear Bill Krueger talk about this. He doesn't live up there like Bryce Miller, but he likes to throw his fastball. And that's the thing with these guys. They got to throw more fastballs and stop nibbling with these guys and stop throwing so much breaking. Just go after them. Pitch them inside. Get them moving around with that fastball. He likes it. He uses it. It's a good fastball. I think he's going to be good tonight. I think he was frustrated how the last game went. I think he's a real dog kind of competitor in him. He's always had that Furious George moniker. I feel a lot as I feel about Kirby as I've always kind of felt about Bryce Miller. There's a little something to those guys when the moment is on. Certain guys rise to the top. I think he fits that mold. I fits a mold of a guy that can elevate his game. And then we missed a pitcher also. Castillo's available tonight. I mean, you look again at what they've got versus what Seattle has in terms of what they can all throw out tonight. I just think the advantages for the Mariners, they just got to execute their pitchers, and that's it to me. That's the key.
Yeah, well, I hope you're right about Kirby, and I hope we see the guy that we saw against the Tigers and not the guy that we saw in that last outing against the Blue Jays. And and I think he's probably going to go, 3 innings, maybe 4 if you're lucky. And
yeah, 4 is max.
We've seen George Kirby often enough to know that there's greatness there, but there's also been flashes of mediocrity. So we really don't need to see those flashes tonight.
Yeah, that's why I just don't think there's no reason to push the envelope with him tonight. If he gets you through 3, got it, gravy. Great. It's unbelievable.
You come in with Wu or Castillo then?
Well, I think it's all dependent on the situation. I mean, obviously they're going to map out. They always do map out kind of what they want. I mean, games, to me, you can't map out anything in a Game 7. So I know they're going to have their idea how they want to do it, where they want Wu to pitch, where they want Castillo, where they want their relievers and all that. But you got to scrap that. You have to scrap it. So, Yeah, I don't know. It's whatever the situation is. But Wu's there, and he'll be fine. Castillo will be fine to throw. Miller said he's fine.
What do you do aspire? I mean, you're not going to bring him in the third or fourth inning tonight, are you? Don't you kind of need to have, depending on the score, if it's still tight, if it's tied, 1 run either way, or do you, situationally speaking, go, hey, this is the moment we need to have Spire in there, and do you just go for it?
Again, yeah. I mean, just whatever the situation dictates. I don't know if there's not a Carpenter guy for him. So it's not like you have to save him for Kerry Carpenter. There's not that guy for those guys. I mean, I don't know, I don't think you're saving him for Barger. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that there's a moment. He can get left and rights out. So again, I don't know. You find the right spot for him and you let him go. Munoz is going to have 2 innings in him tonight.
God,
again, I think it's just a real, if they keep it close, do not get down, prevent the long, the home run and all that kind of stuff. They keep it close. I just think it's an advantage for Seattle. I mean, here's the thing. Hoffman's not that great of a closer. And he was in there last night, went 2 innings and threw 35 pitches. Now, again, they can use him. How effective is he going to be after throwing 35 yesterday? Little's a mess. Dominguez is a mess. Varland, his pitch is their Bizardo. His arm's going to fall off at some point. And so they're going to go with who? They're going to give you a healthy, try to see how long Bieber goes. And then
you're trying to get 6 out of Bieber if you're Schneider, aren't
you? No way. Bieber 4. No way. He's got Gosman.
Okay, but if he thinks the same way about his relievers that you do, don't you want to try and get 6 if you're Schneider tonight?
No, because he's got Gosman and Scherzer in his back pocket.
Okay,
that's who he's gonna pitch. I mean, I don't think Bieber's going 6. To me, I think there's short leashes all around. It's not.
We don't need Max Scherzer to be some sort of hero again tonight, do we?
Well, I would like not to see.
Is he going to come in there with that one brown eye and one blue eye and shut him down again?
Stop making fun of the man's eyes. Come on.
I just think that's the most bizarre thing ever.
Well, it's his bizarre. He was born that way. Leave him alone.
I know.
Jeez.
Okay, is it okay if I make fun of the fat catcher then? Is that all right or no?
Well, the fat catcher's pretty good.
He can hit though, can't he? Jesus.
Oh, he can hit. He can play defense.
Yeah. No,
hey, dear, excuse me, Leo, if you want to continue to play anymore, and I like that you play, learn how to base run. Learn how to take a lead, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Boy, by a fraction, by a hair, he was safe.
Well, the throw was there. It was just Vlad just didn't.
Guerrero kind of got tied up with his glove on the bag there when he was sweeping, trying to sweep.
Lord. Them. Yeah, they just.
I don't want to see Rivas in the lineup tonight, though. Do you? I want to see Polanco back at second base. He's not hitting as well as a DH, and I factor that in for some reason. I just think when a guy DHs, that it's not the same routine that he's used to, and so why mess with Polanco? He was hot as hell when he was playing second base. Get him out there at second. I know that Rivas is a better defender at second base than Polanco, but I think it's messing with him a little bit, and I think we're going to see the Polanco that we got used to seeing in the first series and the early on in this series if they put him back at second base tonight.
You have numbers that back that up?
Yeah, he's 0 for 10 as a DH.
So it's all because he's a DH. Okay. All right.
I'm big into that. I'm really big into that. Yeah. I don't think everybody is fit to be a DH. We all assume that it's like, oh, they'll just go up and they don't have to play in the field, but you sit in the dugout, you get cold. It's like a pinch hitter every 4 times.
You would DH then who?
I'd put Mitch Garver in there tonight. And okay, you know what? Okay, here's my rationale on that. Just give me 10 or 15 seconds before you interrupt me. And I don't blame you if you do interrupt me.
You take as much time as long as you pull the mic back when I've asked you 4 times on a text to pull it.
Oh, shit. I mean, if I pull it back too far, let me say something to the listeners and viewers out there. If I pull it back too far, it's too far. If I put it too close, and it's too close. And it's like, okay, where do you want me to go with it? I'm trying.
Pull it back.
But I really want it to be perfect distance because the point I'm about to make about Mitch Garver is fucking awesome. What?
Pull it back a little bit because you're popping your P's.
Okay.
If you checked your phone, you would have seen that.
I'll try and avoid saying words like popcorn. Okay. How's popcorn? Does that sound all right?
Popcorn. Popcorn. All right. What's your great point about Mitch Garver?
You know what? I blame the Google worldwide outage for me popping my P's right now.
Yes,
Okay?
it's
Can I do
AWS.
that?
Anyways, it's not Google.
Okay, number 1 point for Mitch Garver. I'm sick and fucking tired of this right on left, left on right. We got to make sure that we give the batter that. Okay, so let's just give it to Garver tonight. He has playoff experience. He's been here before with Texas. The Rangers won a World Series. I know that Mitch Garver sucks for the most part, but he's a home run waiting to happen, isn't he? I mean, let's just, and again, if you want, and I did a little more research, he also sucks against Shane Bieber. He's 3 for 21 in his career with 13 strikeouts. So, Jim.
So why not?
If I'm you, I'm saying, hey, Jim, why would you want Mitch Garver in that lineup as your DH tonight? Well, what are your other options? Rivas. Okay. I mean, he puts the ball in play. Okay, fine. And we all like Leo Rivas. He's our new Dylan Moore. We have to like Leo Rivas. But if he'd gotten picked off last night, no one would have liked him anymore. And then Robles, you keep wanting Robles to play. Why don't we, put Robles in right field and have Canzone be your DH, I guess.
Sure. That's what I wanted them to do last night. That's what I want them to do tonight. I don't think he's going to do it. And again, this is not me saying that Victor Robles has been great at the plate. He hasn't been, but neither is Canzone. Canzone can get into one. Obviously, he's got more of a home run threat than Victor Robles does. And in a game like tonight, if someone gets on base and ahead of him, he can do more damage with a 2-run home run than obviously Victor Robles can. But in a game like tonight, which I think is going to be tight, and defense matters. Did defense matter yesterday?
Defense did matter.
Yeah, they made 3 errors. Their defense was a disaster. Now, none of that was Canzone's fault because nothing happened over there. But defense matters. A large part of why they lost the game yesterday was because of their defense. And again, now it happened to guys that normally don't make mistakes like that. Julio doesn't do that, although sometimes he does that little play where he gets off his glove. Suarez has been pretty damn good over there. Made a play later in the game that was unbelievable.
That was an understandable error, I thought. He was thinking about going to second, and it just, he got distracted a little bit.
Cal, again, couldn't have thrown the ball, but he did. Gets away, leads to a run. They normally don't play like that. All year, they've been a pretty clean baseball team. They made a lot of errors, that in the double plays, and game's over. But runs count. Like that one run means something, right? Instead of a 6-2, it's 5-2. Heat's turned up more on Toronto. Every run counts. That's why I want Robles in right field. Dom Canzone, yes, is better at the plate. He is a train wreck in the field, an absolute train wreck, and you can't afford that tonight.
No,
not there. You just can't afford it. And now that's why I understand your point about Polanco, but I understand the thinking. That's why it's just weird to me that he doesn't apply the same thinking in right field that he does at second. Rivas is just a better second baseman. The other play, the other day in game 5, that ball up the middle that would scorch. Polanco doesn't make that play. Rivas does. Like Polanco can't get to that.
No.
So I get it, but is it affecting him at the plate? Maybe you're right. I mean, sure. Maybe he's more comfortable.
I'm right a lot. I don't think that's a maybe.
Yeah.
And the other point, the last point I want to make about Garver, and I saved the best for last.
Can't wait.
It's a hunch that I have. It's a gut feeling I have with Mitch Garver tonight. And it's also that old school in me saying, you know what? Screw analytics, screw the platoon bullshit. Just one time, give me Mitch Garver tonight, and let's see what happens.
Okay, so Jim wants Jim's pick to click tonight is Mitch Garver.
Mitch Garver.
All right. Yeah. What has he done in the postseason?
Are we ever going to get Rick Riz pitch or click to pick to click, whatever the hell it is? Are we ever going to get him to pick another player from the other team? Would that ever happen? I really want that to happen.
But why would he do that?
Shannon, I really like Vladdy tonight. God, Vladdy, against
but why
George
would
Kirby.
He pick? Why would he pick?
It would just amuse me if he did something like that.
Mitch Garver in the postseason, if you looked at his numbers, actually hasn't been bad. I mean,
I would have brought that up if I'd looked at it, but I didn't see it.
He's only had 9 plate appearances in 6 games, but OPS of 905, slugging 571. Okay, throw him in there.
He had a triple, didn't he, in this series?
He did, yeah. Now, I don't think they're going to do. I mean, I understand, the whole platoon splits. I'm with you. I'm over it. I think teams rely on this stuff way too much. But he's been married to it.
Yeah, they've got good reasons for it. But again, like if you're a left-handed batter against a left-handed pitcher, how do you ever get better if you don't face them?
Practice.
I guess. So, all right. So what's your ideal lineup? I'm thinking too that they should move Naylor up to second. And someone else was saying, hell's bells, let's go Naylor hitting leadoff. Naylor would be a good leadoff option right now. Julio's 0 for 10 as a leadoff guy.
I think when they made that move the other day, I mean, maybe he'll do something crazy. I don't know. I don't know if you screw around with it in Game 7. I don't know. Maybe you did it the other day. We talked about the other day when we thought that they should do something with the lineup, and they ended up moving Julio up there. Now, again, he has not performed well. In the past, he'd been okay hitting leadoff. This year, not. He hadn't done a ton.
Who do you want? Don't you want an extra at bat from Naylor if you can possibly get it?
I have always thought that, and we've discussed before, I always thought Naylor is a perfect leadoff hitter. Perfect.
They should do it tonight.
Sure. Throw him out there. Why not?
I don't think Julio's comfortable being a leadoff guy.
He might not be. Sure. Might not be. I mean, but I know everyone's going to say it's always someone that surprises you, right? That wins a Game 7. It's a Leo Rivas. It's going to be, Fasta Clement, or it's going to be Barger, or it's going to be, IKF, or one of those guys. Jimenez. I think it's just stars. I think stars perform. I think stars deliver it in Game 7s. So I think for me,
I need it to be Gino personally. I need it to be
personally because you got money on Gino.
I bet him to be the series MVP after Game 4, and he was 64-1 on $5, and then he hits 2 home runs, and now he's one of the favorites.
I'm just gonna say it's Julio and Cal. It's just got to be those two. Those two have to be like superstars tonight. And then flip side for Toronto, Vlad's already done it, but I would think that they would say Vlad for them, and he's been a monster in the postseason.
Yeah. What's funny is that everybody's upset about the Mariners hitting into double plays in 3 consecutive innings or whatever it was, and twice with the bases loaded. Okay, fine. But Cal hit that ball hard, and it just happened to go to somebody. Now, if it had gone between first and second, everybody had been like, God, look at Cal Raleigh. He came through. It was one of those game of inches type moments.
I agree. I think it's fair to criticize the guy that can't find the strike zone. You swing at the first pitch.
Well, okay.
Now you're right. If it gets through, it's a whole different story. I understand. I'm just thinking in the moment, at least where I was, that was our thought. Let's see a pitch here first before you swing. And he didn't, whatever. It's in the past. But think about how different the game is, Jim. If one of those balls gets through, one of them gets through, that's a whole different game. And hell, they may have won the game.
Yeah.
Again, so I don't think it was as dire yesterday that maybe something it was. One of those balls gets through. They don't commit one of those errors. And, I think they take a lot maybe into Game 7 that instead of maybe Toronto winning the game, we kind of handed Toronto the game. At least maybe I think that's got to be a little bit of their thought process.
Yeah. Every one of those errors, I know you can't be committing 3 errors in a game, especially one of that magnitude, but every one of them I kind of understood. I mean, Cal was, he was just spread out after getting to that ball. And yeah, in hindsight, should he have not thrown it? Probably not. Gino, I give him a break on that because that was a hot shot that he fielded cleanly and then just on the transfer. And then Julio was it Varsho who hit it? I can't remember who hit it. Wouldn't he have gotten second base anyway?
No.
He might have gotten second base anyway.
No way. I don't.
I wouldn't say yes way, but I would say maybe way.
I mean, it was an error. So it was a single error, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think
he looked like he was motoring around first anyway, and that he was going to give it a shot.
Maybe give it a shot. Maybe thrown out.
Right.
Yeah. I think that.
No, I probably, if I'd been the official scorer, I probably would have given it an error too.
Yeah. What do you think?
But if Julio done that at home, I'll bet they would have given him a double.
What do you think Game Changer Mom would have given Dalton Varsho?
Game changer mom would probably have asked for some advice on that one.
No, game changer mom would have given little Dalton a double.
Probably. Yeah. Unless game changer moms was the pitcher.
Well, yeah. If game changer mom was the pitcher, that was a 2-base error.
Yeah, Julio should have caught it on the fly.
Julio should have caught it or should have thrown him out at first. Because like little Julio out there, he was playing great. Not his fault. Do better for him. Well, I mean, it's one of the biggest games. It's the biggest sporting event. I mean, the history of this organization.
Well, is there an in-between? I was thinking about that. Is there an in-between tonight as far as we all know if they win, it'll be what? Greatest moment in Seattle sports history? Or you can at least put it in the conversation as greatest moment in Seattle sports history. The Seahawks didn't have to wait that long. And so in the context of how long we've waited for this to happen, you could say it's the greatest moment in Seattle sports history. But then if they lose, is it like one of the biggest disappointments in Seattle sports history? Or do we kind of go, because I know you and I said it's going to be a disappointment going into the playoffs if they don't make it to the World Series. If they lose to the Dodgers, I think everybody would be fine with that.
Sure.
But if they don't make it, where do we put it on the disappointment scale? Like, God, did these guys fail to meet expectations with the team they had, the trades they made at the deadline or the acquisitions?
Yeah.
Or do you, I think at this point, I'm kind of going, I'm in between. I'm going, God, it was a fun season if it ends tonight.
I mean, I think it's a fun season. I think it's a fun season no matter what. I think you could say it's a fun season, but at the same time, it's disappointing. I just think with the talent that they had, and I think with where the division was, I think where the league was. I mean, I think, the time to go back and nitpick over some of the moves they were late in making, waited to make. But
you wouldn't go so far as to say it was an unsuccessful season, would you? But that's what we were saying before the playoffs started, that if they don't make it to the World Series.
I think it's a disappointment if they don't make it to the World Series. That needed to be the bar for this team. It had to be. There's no given next year. I don't know. There's so many unknowns going into next year. You don't know if Jorge Polanco is going to be back. You don't know if Josh Naylor's coming back. Suarez, if you want to bring up, you don't know if he's coming back. There's just a lot of unknowns, with this team, and I just think that, what is disappointing right now about this series in particular. One, it's disappointing that you didn't have your best pitcher. It just sucks. The guy was durable, was a bulldog all season long, all year. And
it'll end up being a trivia question, just like the Sonics back in '96. If they'd had Nate McMillan, what would have happened?
Oh, sure, yeah.
If they'd had Brian Wu, what would have happened?
And it's an absolute bummer, because what was so frustrating, especially with this series, excuse me, and how well he's pitched in it, they had this secret weapon that the Blue Jays have seen for 2 games that they would have saw coming out of the bullpen. And the Mariners played it perfectly. They just had a great game plan of how they were going to use Bryce Miller because of how he pitches at the top line, and it was going to be a hard matchup for the Blue Jays. And we've seen it become a hard matchup for the Blue Jays. And he's been great. He's been the best pitcher in this series. But they were going to use him in a different role, and it's too bad they didn't get a chance to use him in that role. And now tonight they can. I mean, they're going to use everybody tonight. But yeah,
you could also argue where would they be without Bryce Miller starting those 2 games?
Well, you got to tell me, would Brian Wu not have delivered a similar performance?
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, he's the best pitcher.
It's crazy, though, to think that Bryce Miller was a guy who wasn't going to start for you in the playoffs, and he's become your best starter.
But I think the thing that's been disappointing about this series, I mean, that's on a personal level there with Wu and, for him and the team. But I think it's just the overall starters in the series. The fact is you just, you didn't get anything from these guys. Kirby was disappointing in his start. Gilbert had, feel bad for Gilbert. When you are considered a staff ace, at least in the conversation, one of the best pitchers in the game, and you've got a chance, to put the team on your shoulders and delivered. It wasn't all his fault. The defense, certainly let him down in that first inning, and or the second inning, whatever it was. You don't get a chance to deliver, your team to the World Series. I mean, he's going to own that. He's going to wear that for a long, long time. It's be hard for him to wear that. That's got to be frustrating because he was not his best, has not been his best in this series for sure. And just overall, their starters haven't been good. It's amazing to think that their starters have outplayed Seattle starters.
Yeah, it's I really appreciated Logan Gilbert, and it's a reporter in me. I don't know how much fans appreciate this, but when you face the music the way he did, I mean, a lot of guys will cut out of the clubhouse and not want to talk about it. Logan not even talk. I mean, he talked about it, and he was, he just felt so bad. You could hear the emotion in his voice, and I really appreciated that about him. And I'm sure that he's going to bounce back against the Dodgers if they get that far. But
sure,
yeah, it's. I feel bad for him, and I hope he gets an opportunity for redemption in the World Series for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been great.
I thought about it. I'd like to say that, gee, it's finally caught up to the Mariners, because they've had so many innings. Their pitchers, they've never gone this far. They're still young. But Gilbert was out for a period of time, and Kirby was out for a period of time. So it's not like they've just been overloaded with innings this year like they were last year.
Yeah. Well, how do you feel? How do you feel about tonight? How do you think it's going to go?
Well, personally, I hope to hell they win. Because I got like $200 on them to win the series or something. But forget about that. I just, for everyone that's just so invested in this team and has been watching for so long, this is a moment we've been waiting for forever. Sure. And our old cohort at KJR, I feel like if the Mariners lose, that Softy might kill himself. So I'm concerned about that, and I really hope those videos that he's got out there.
That's really just taking a dark turn. Okay.
No,
I hope he does not end his own life. But okay.
Come on, finish. You guys gotta finish. I'm like, Jesus. Okay.
How is what is your mother going to do tonight? How is she going to watch the game in her normal spot? Are you going up there to watch it with her?
No, I'm going to be here with a couple of buddies and watching Kathy pace back and forth, and she'll have on all three jerseys. She puts them on. She's got Edgar, Suarez, and Julio. Okay. And then she usually, has a glass of wine in both hands and
she likes
cursing at umpires. Yeah, I think everybody's going to pull out all the stops tonight, superstition-wise.
You've got it. Do you have a superstition? Do you have something you do?
I don't really have anything. I really don't feel like those are a factor in how those guys are playing. It's one of those times I'm clear-headed about it.
Okay.
But no, I'm going to be every pitch tonight. Every single pitch is gonna matter. And they've never had a game 7. They've never been in a position like this. What are you doing? You got any superstitions or?
I'm going to sit in a dark place and listen on the radio. I don't think I can bear to watch.
Oh, come on. You'll be
really
watching.
I'm going to sit with some headphones on. I know I have an old, what I really want to do is sit by myself with I have an old transistor radio and I just want to listen to it on the radio.
How about I don't know how to sync it up. People know how to sync it up with the TV broadcast. I'd love to hear Riz and Gary Hill.
I would do it honestly. If Niehaus was still here, I would do that tonight because I would just want to listen to him. Do you
think they win?
I think they win. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a real close game. And I think it will just be a battle of arms and a battle of pitchers. And I just think that I'm going to trust and have faith and hope that this group of pitchers is just going to be better than theirs. And I think it's going to be a war of attrition of arms. And I think they're going to outlast it. And I think the last guy standing, Andres Munoz, has been, along with Miller, they're going to be the two of the best in tonight's game, and I think they're going to deliver, and I think that's going to be a huge win. I think you're going to get big games from Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez tonight.
All right. Do you have a dark horse?
Dark horse?
Yeah, Jim, I like what you had to say about Mitch Garver. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to jump on your Mitch Garver train. I'm going to let you have Mitch Garver.
All right.
I think JP does something tonight, and that's not really a dark horse, but he hasn't really done much. I think JP does something tonight to kind of maybe it's a solo shot, home run early on in the game, RBI, something. I think just something tonight from JP that kind of kickstarts the offense.
All right. Okay, so Troy's our handicapper, troywins.com. Okay, I'm just for one game only. I'm going to go to jimwins.com, and I'm going to advise
is
everyone.
that on there? Jimwins.com.
Yeah, and I'm going to advise everyone of the best bet of the evening, and I think people are going to agree with me when I'm going to say what I'm about to say. The game will go extra innings tonight, and the reason it's going to go extra innings is because the baseball gods are up there going, we're going to eventually let the Mariner fans celebrate, but we're going to make them sweat it out a little more. And then one god will say to the other, hey man, it's game 7 already. Haven't they had to sweat enough as it is? No, 49 years. They need to sweat just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I think the Mariners are going to win it in 12.
12. Oh, did you pick 12 for a reason? Jeez,
not really. Is that what they beat the Tigers in?
No, you're just pandering to the Seahawks fans. 12.
Oh, no, I wasn't thinking about the 12.
You were.
I'm betting on the Texans tonight. I'm betting on the Texans. I'm not pandering to them.
Learn your lesson. God, you bet on the Huskies this weekend?
No, well, yeah, I had them on the money line.
No good Coug fan would ever bet on the Huskies. I'll tell you that.
When's Jed Fish going to Florida, by the way? When is that happening?
My favorite part of your Jed Fish to Florida thing is the many people on X that don't get the joke, that they don't understand what you're trying to do or what we've been trying to do with Jed Fish to Florida. But hey,
somebody's got to be at the press conference and ask that question today, right? Who is it?
Has anyone checked on Cam Cleland? Is he still harassing reporters for not voting Washington in the top 25? Do we know that? Is he still going after people left and right on social media and yelling at reporters that they don't watch film, they don't know what they're talking about? You should spend more time talking about how they should be ranked.
Are you saying that Cam thinks he's smarter than the rest of the world?
I just think when you're yelling at reporters all week long because they didn't vote their team in the top 25 and you go out and lose by 17, I don't know. Maybe stop talking about it.
Why didn't Damon Williams play like that against us?
Jim, it's a great question.
And then some wise ass on Twitter, and I'm a wise ass on Twitter too, so I can appreciate other wise asses. But that's because they played Michigan's defense. They're a hell of a lot better than yours.
Well, it's kind of. Just wonder how Kirby Voorhees is feeling this morning. Why did I raise my hand in the air?
Have you ever seen that?
Never in my life. I just don't. I really don't know what he was thinking. I want to know, and I don't think I read everything. Did he talk? What happened? Why did he do that?
Yeah, the ball wasn't going to him. I don't know.
For the life of me.
Oh. God, we're only a 1.5 favorite over Toledo this week.
The Mud Hens? Are they the Mud Hens?
I don't know what they are. But it's Parents' Weekend. It's not Dad's Weekend anymore. No, we'll be in Pullman this coming weekend.
Okay, well, have fun. Yeah. Have fun there at Parents' Weekend.
I'll work on this mic thing too. I'm, a work in progress.
Well, you are a work in progress.
Yeah.
All right. So Mariners win in 12.
That's right.
3-2.
3-2. Correct. You like it? Mitch Garver, top of the 12th, solo shot to left. God, I'll be recognized as a hero. They might make me the Grand Marshal of the parade down 4th Avenue after
sure would. Yeah.
Dodgers.
You're gonna go to the World Series games?
I can't afford it, and I don't know how to get tickets, and Heavily won't give me free tickets for this one.
Did you already ask?
No, I do want to ask for my mom though, and not for free, but just to see if I could get her into the wheelchair section.
Do what every lonely, pathetic person does on social media.
What's that?
Do a GoFundMe. Ask for, hey, I want to send my mom to a World Series game. Can people pay for her? I saw the witch lady do that. Whoever that witch lady is, the Mariner witch lady. She asked for people to send her to Toronto.
Oh, the Etsy witch thing.
Yeah, it's like Sea-Hulk. Let's send Sea-Hulk to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you like the Sea-Hulk? Which is your favorite 12 mascot person?
I think I like Sea Pimp, the guy in the white suit, more than Sea-Hulk.
Well, my favorites have always been Mr. and Mrs. Seahawk.
Oh, you love Mr. and Mrs. Seahawk.
Yeah, there's nothing like, putting makeup on and wearing Seahawk uniform when you're in your 60s. That's
God, how are people, hold on, before you go, How are people at the Seahawks game? Like, if you're a Seahawks fan, you're obviously a Mariners fan. But I would assume most of them are. How do you handle this tonight? Like, is the stadium going to be full? Are there going to be empty seats, or is everyone going to be in the concourse?
They got to put it on the.
They
got to put it on the big screen, don't they?
During the game, during the Seahawks game,
I would do it if I were them.
What do you mean? They're not going to have the game up on the video, like when the Seahawks are actually playing, or before the game?
While the game is underway. Because at that point, it's going to be the 8th or 9th inning.
Oh, I don't think that. You think they'd do that there? I don't think they're going to do that.
Well, every team kind of likes the idea of looking out for the other team in their city.
Yeah.
So this would be a perfect time for them to do it. What are people going to be complaining? Hey, I didn't see the replay of Stroud's pass. Like, what are you doing? I don't want to see Cal Raleigh's at bat.
Yeah, but
I want to see Cal Raleigh in the batter's box more than.
But they're not going to show it on the. They're not going to show it on the video board while the game is going on. No one ever does that. You're not going to do that. No, they'll show it in the concourse. I'm saying they should
break precedent with that tonight, though, because this is this should be an exception to that rule.
They should just stop the game. I would stop the game for the Seahawks. We're going to take a timeout. They should make up a thing like that. We've got a lighting issue,
or how about lightning in the area? Lightning always.
Yeah, lightning in the area. Do that to stop play. Yeah. It's gonna be a weird crowd. I'd be interesting to see how many people actually go to the game. Like I think
it'll still be a good crowd.
I don't know. I think there's gonna be maybe you're right. I think it'll be far more empty seats tonight.
But the NFL is so huge.
Well, I know, but
I mean, I know there's a lot of
Game 7 of the ALCS, for God's sakes.
I know that's why they should put it on the big
season
screen.
Game. I'm sacrificing a Seahawks win. Is it okay? I'm sacrificing a Seahawks win tonight for the Mariners to win. I think there's probably not 100% people would agree with that one, but it's got to be pretty close to 100%. You told me the Seahawks are going to lose 34-0 tonight, but the Mariners win. Okay, that's good. That's fine.
God, that's not, I mean, if you're trying to get more 12s to listen to your podcast, that's not the way to do it.
Did you hear what he said?
Put the game on the big screen.
Come on, you would how bad would you want the Seahawks to get beat tonight if it meant a Mariners win?
Oh, it doesn't. Well, yeah, I bet on the Texans, so yeah, I'd like.
Yeah,
to
but
see
how
that
bad?
happen.
Like 70-0, 75-0.
Yeah, it wouldn't bother me. That'd be okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
well, right. I assume, I don't know how early it opens up over there, but I am assuming that games at 7. Can you get in there at 5? Can you get in 2 hours before I think you can. So I think we
it's
can
weird.
Get
okay, let me ask you something real quick here. Why are they messing around with Monday Night Football? Well, why are they doing that?
2 games?
Just give me one game on Monday night. I love the NFL, but I don't need 2 on Monday night. And then what they're doing, imagine an East Coast fan tonight. 10 o'clock kickoff for the Seahawks.
You think that East Coast fan is like, damn it, man. I really wanted to watch Houston and Seattle.
Well, yeah, if you've had a bad weekend betting and you're trying to rally.
Yeah, I would just say
like,
maybe
you know what it is for the East Coast tonight? It's like us, waiting for that Hawaii game on a Saturday to go double or nothing.
Yeah, but I love the Hawaii game late night. Wasn't the Hawaii game this week a late night one? Didn't it kick off like at 9?
I think so.
Or it was like 2 weeks ago.
They were at Colorado State.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Have fun. Good luck.
12
Call
innings.
your mom.
12 innings. Mitch Garver, 3-2.
Okay.
And you're going to want like a special podcast with me tomorrow if all this happens.
If it all happens, I'd love to have you on tomorrow. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
All right. See you, buddy.
Yeah, go Hams. Go Cougs. See ya.
There he is. Jim Moore, the go-to guy with us Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays on the Daily Puck Drop. All right. Normally, we've got Michael Shandugar from The Athletic. Joins us on Mondays to talk Seahawks football. Hopefully, we'll get that up at some point, but there's some I don't know, nationwide outage, which is preventing from interviews or preventing stuff from being uploaded and processed. So we have it in our back pocket, but we can't play it yet. So maybe it'll come out later. If not, so be it. All Mariners today, really, anyways. With that being said, we caught up with Bill Krueger, as we always do on Mondays. We did an old school phone interview with him. I wanted to just make sure we would get him on rather than doing our video segment, because that's not working right now for some reason. So Bill Krueger and I, every week we talk Mariners baseball. A lot this week, obviously. Game 7. He played 13 years in the league. He understands what these guys are going through tonight. What's the key for Kirby this evening? What's also the key for the Mariners hitters against Shane Bieber? All hands on deck tonight for the Mariners. Why have they don't get to face the splitter tonight, at least early on with Bieber, because he didn't throw it. But why have they struggled against that? Every single Monday, old school baseball with Bill Krueger. But first, let's get a word from John Howie Steak.
Excellence in dining? Visit John Howie Steak and experience premier Northwest dining. Prime custom aged steaks, award-winning wine, unmatched level of service. You won't be disappointed. Make your next reservation today at johnhowiesteak.com.
Speaking of old school and old school baseball, we're going a little old school right now. The old phone interview. Ladies and gentlemen, on the old telephone with us, it's Bill Krueger, old school baseball host, podcast where you can find wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, you can find him on social media, old_school_MLB. This is a throwback time. It's a throwback Game 7. And we thought to discuss a Game 7, Bill Krueger, it's on the phone. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I just wish it was a rotary phone. Then that would really make me feel like we're just, oh my God, it's so funny. But yeah, it's look, it comes down to the kinds of things that we've hoped and dreamed about since we were in our backyards playing wiffle ball, right? Be in that moment when all the cards are on the table, and all the chips are in the middle of the table, whatever you want to use as an analogy. And this, we dream big, and hopefully these players are thinking about dreaming big.
Yeah, this is, you're right. Everybody dreams of this moment. And if you'd asked anybody before the season, you got a Game 7 with a chance to go to the World Series. There's not a fan that doesn't take it, despite what the route was taken to get there, Bill. I mean, you've been in these situations before, just in terms of these games that you look forward to. Fans, I know there's people, across this state, across this city right now who could not sleep last night. For players, though, do you get a good night's rest of sleep? Or if you're George Kirby, are you just staring at the ceiling all night long, waiting for this game tonight?
Well, I think there's a lot more adrenaline than normal, and on the line, I think that he probably didn't have a absolute, slept like a rock kind of night. I would really doubt. But adrenaline is going to carry you. So I've always, as I think back on my career, it was always the sleep the night before the game, the night before, which was really the key rest, because you're going to be so amped that night before you pitch that you're going to be a little bit restless. You probably won't have a long night's sleep. You can't wait to get up in the morning and get the so that would be pretty normal, I think, for him.
Yeah, and then I would just imagine it's for them it doesn't start until 8 o'clock, at night. So there's a lot of time to wait around. As a pitcher, what advice would you give someone like George Kirby and the other guys that are going to pitch tonight? But George will start the game. How do you ease your mind? How do you take your mind off of it?
Well, I don't think you can. I think you have to stick to your routine, and there's power in the routine. You do the same preparation. If your preparation's perfect, you put yourself in the best place you can possibly be. I think in looking at him, he seems pretty structured, and he doesn't seem, loose and fancy free. I think he's coming off a game where he got his hat handed to him, but the previous two starts against Detroit, he was nails, and he's had a good end of the season. So I think for him, he can't wait to turn the table on the Jays, get off to a good start, establish who he is as a pitcher. He can't wait to do that. And I think it's good to learn from the game you just pitched and then lean upon games where you pitched well and keep that in your mind as you go into this game about what makes me great. And I need to keep that in my mind as I take the field against the Jays. The idea that I understand some things about how the Jays, woodshedded me and what I'm going to do differently.
What would you like to see him do differently from the previous start?
Well, I think his calling card is his fastball. He needs to establish his fastball on both sides. He needs to be willing to pitch in on those right-hand hitters. He needs to be a little bit more careful when he tries to swing that fastball back in on those left-handers. I think that's an important pitch to him. When we saw the most success that anyone's had, it's been Bryce Miller. And Bryce Miller pitches a lot at the top of the zone.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be able to get to the top of the zone. You can't be just living up there and getting behind in the count and then having to come down the middle with these guys. These guys are inside-out hitters. They all like to hit the ball up the middle and the other way. With that in mind, you have to be able to make pitches inside with your fastball. That doesn't mean you throw all fastballs, but you need to be able to do that. Guerrero lives on the out over the plate. You have to pound him in. Even if he is so strong he breaks his bat in half and flicks one into left center, that's better than letting him get his arms extended and do. And the two balls he hit off from the last game were both sliders out over the plate. You got to pound him in. Got to pound Guerrero in. And you've got some guys that are put in the play type hitters. You have to make them honest. You have to pound them in. If you get them to start pulling the ball, then you can throw your other pitches. You can throw breaking balls. George should have the right-hand hitters. They should be his, in my opinion. The challenge will be, the Lukes, the Varshows, the Jimenezes, the Bargers. Those are the guys that are challenging for him in the way he pitches. He's got a flat arm angle. His breaking balls tend to be a little bit flatter to lefties. So he has to win at the top line. He's got to throw some more four-seamers. We're not going to wish him to be different. We're not going to ask him to be something that he's not. Hey, George, we wish you had a more 12-6 curveball. Gee, George, how come you don't throw your changeup more? This isn't the time to say, what are things that I don't do well? Now I'm all of a sudden going to change the pitcher that I am. You can't do that. You got to dance with the girl that brung you. That's who you are. So I think it's fastball sliders to the righties. Be conscious of getting the ball in, especially on Guerrero. And, use the top line every chance you get with the four-seamer.
Have they not, you brought up Miller, have the starters who, besides Miller, have all struggled in this series, have they not gone to the fastball enough in your opinion? Because you mentioned that Miller's had success against him in 2 starts, and he's used that. Have the other starters not used it enough for your liking?
Well, maybe it's because Miller's fresh, because his stuff looks really good. Gilbert, in watching Gilbert, he's a stuff guy. He's an all-effort guy. He wants to show you velocity and get you out with sliders and splits. And he's made a lot of mistakes with sliders and splits. His breaking balls have humps in them. He's not always able to execute the split like you'd like him to see it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of that's because he needs to really just show you velocity. He doesn't really pitch with his fastball. He shows you his fastball. Kirby is much like Miller, except he's not quite as good a four-seamer as Miller is. He's got a little better command, but he's got to show it. If you got great command and you're one of the best walk-to-strikeout guys in the history of the game, then you should be able to pitch on the thirds of the plate. I think he's a little too willing to pitch in the middle part of the plate, and that ain't going to work. You're going to have to make some pitches, okay? Castillo, again, he's a guy that wants to get you to chase the top line. He's a flatter arm angle guy. He has trouble with left-handers too because of the angle he throws the ball. And the anomaly, of course, is Brian Wu. And we saw him come in, and he was as advertised for 2 innings. Whether or not he can show up again in this game would be huge. Can he bounce back after 2 innings having pitched a few days ago? Can he? I don't know what his health like. We don't know. It's like it's so quiet around him. It's unbelievable. He's the difference maker. He's the best guy the Mariners have by far. And it's unfortunate that they haven't been able to use him because he probably would have made the difference. They'd probably be already getting ready to play the Dodgers if they'd had Woo.
What do you
But
okay.
that's wishful.
Yeah. Let's go how you think this plays out. Obviously, both managers, John Schneider and Dan Wilson, are going to have quick hooks today. They've got guys that they can use. Best case scenario for Kirby would be what? How many innings would you say, all right, that's good, that's perfect?
I mean, you know where I come from. It's always the eye test. These guys all want to have it scripted. They want the pressure off. They want someone to tell them when is it that I have to take them out so I don't make a mistake. But I mean, the other day was really interesting when Miller came out and he wasn't really getting hit, and then you brought in Brash, wasn't it Brash? Yeah, and then it's like, oh my gosh, Brash now? What's next? And then the bad gunslinger came into town and showed up in the bullpen, Brian Wu, and he was already scheduled to pitch then. They knew exactly when they were going to pitch Wu, and Wu knew exactly when he was going to pitch. So I don't know if they're going to have it scripted that tightly, but I mean, the rope is going to be short, okay? I mean, you got to you're a fool. I mean, if Kirby's out there taking names and shutting people out and they're not touching him, you got to keep pitching them and let him go. The reason that the Mariners are at this point in this series is because, honestly, the Blue Jays starters are outpitched the Mariners starters. And who could have predicted that, right? Their bullpen is shambles. They're going to be Scherzer. They're going to be Gosman. And that's who's going to pitch for them, okay? And that doesn't mean that Castillo and Wu and even Miller, that they're going to be all out there available. I mean,
right.
Bizzardo is going to rubber arm. I mean, he threw 2 innings yesterday. Brash pitched yesterday. Those guys will be available for sure. So I think there's a lot of options on both teams, and it's going to be Johnny Holstaff. It's going to be high theater for sure.
How long? It's going to be a 4.5-hour game, Bill.
So, for those ADD people out there that have to, can't stay with the program, maybe you should make an adjustment and let baseball come to you and see what riveting theater looks like over a little bit longer game.
Yeah, because you're right. I mean, Kirby, depending on how he does, then you've got Wu is available. Bryce Miller said he could go. What would he be on 2 days rest? Castillo's on 3 days rest. And so you would think all those guys are available. Bizzardo, you mentioned before, can pitch forever. Brash could go again. Spire could go. Obviously, Munoz is good to go. And then you're right. And then on the other side, because that's one thing from the game, at least yesterday, you could say, and I think it's safe to say with at least their bullpen, the Mariners want to get into that bullpen. And I thought one thing that was at least telling yesterday, even though he has been, I think, maligned a little bit of how he's pitched. I mean, the Hoffman guy threw 35 pitches yesterday. That doesn't mean that he's not available today because everyone's going to be available. But it's still 35, and he threw 2 innings. So how effective will he be today? But along your lines, a line of thinking, obviously with Bieber, Scherzer's going to be there. Gosman will be there. It's going to be fascinating theater. Can the depth of the Mariners pitching win out in Game 7?
Whatever you want to call it, if the Mariners can keep it even, Steven, and under control, one run one way or the other, and we get to the last 3 innings, I feel really good about the Mariners. Okay? Really good. Dominguez is scattery. I think Scherzer and Gosman are going to finish this game for the Jays. Dominguez is scattery. I mean, you've already used up Hoffman.
Yeah.
Little's a disaster. Borland's pitched, every game? I mean, how many games can he pitch? Now,
he's their Bizzardo.
He wedges in somewhere. Oh, well, he comes in. Yeah, he's their Bizzardo. He's going to come in and fill the inning and give whoever that guy is, Scherzer or Gosman, time to warm up so they can warm up like a starter. And then they're going to come blazing in, man. Those 2 guys are going to pitch for the Jays, for sure. The Mariners have more options, right? They've got their starters. They can kind of hold back on those. You got Brian Wu. It's the mystery card, right? And you got Munoz for 2 innings, okay? So if they get the lead, you've already considered the 8th and 9th is going to be Munoz, all right? Because he's been rested.
Hey, Bill, what has it been about the Blue Jays' bottom of the order that has been so problematic for Seattle's pitchers in this series?
Well, they don't have big resumes, so I think maybe you're just thinking, well, I get to that point and I just can beat them with my stuff. I just outstuff them. And the Mariners there's a bit of arrogance in the Mariners staff, and arrogance can be a good thing because you don't think anybody can touch you, but then arrogance can also lead you to be sloppy, and you don't want to be sloppy. Barger's got some juice, man. We've seen it, right? Clement is a tough little nut. He's a good player. He hits the ball. He puts the bat on the ball. I love him. I love that guy. Barger, man, that guy's a player. Boy, what a break. Santander is garbage this year. Hurt, garbage, fat, overweight, whatever. That guy's a player. He looks like Larry Walker. He's got a cannon in right field, and he's got some pop. And then Jimenez, look, it was real easy for us to understand how to pitch small guys, sand blowers like him. Mm-hmm. You just pitch them away and play them away. Pitch them away and play them away. Pitch them fastballs out of the plate up. Make them hit a fly ball. Get him out of the way. Don't give him something that his short little swing can get into and hit a squeaky little ground ball down the first base line, or, drop the head on something down and in. Come on. He's got to be an out, right? Those other two guys can hit. And they got some guys. Luke's, that guy can hit, all right? They got some guys. They're not a joke. They're real. They got some guys, not just Guerrero. And Springer wasn't healthy yesterday. He's still out there. But, we'll see with him. He's still a real threat. But the Jays present, a bona fide problem. They can hit. They are going to put people on base, and you're going to have to deal with making big pitches with people on base, period. They're just not going to punch out.
They have been, now Bieber's not like this, I don't think. You correct me if I'm wrong. He's not like you Savage and Gossman where he throws the splitter at the rate that those guys do. He's more of that. He's more the curveball guy. But those guys will come into the game. Why has the splitter against the Mariners been so problematic in this series? It seems like every pitch these guys throw, it's another splitter.
Well, it's a swing and miss pitch. It's a pitch that's not at best it's a 50-50 pitch. It's probably more of a, when I say 50-50 strike pitch. It's a pitch that's most effective when it's not a strike. Most effective. If it is a strike, it's probably a pitch that you can handle. So that's the challenge, right? Is to not get in a position where you got to try to hit a split that is thrown hard, that falls off the table. You don't want to get to two strikes, and that's why the Mariners have been so aggressive on trying to hit early in the count, and maybe to their at some points, at some level, to their detriment, because maybe you can pin these guys in the corner if you're a little bit more patient.
Is it for people who would want to know, like the average fan? So a putz like me, Krueger, okay? You're talking to a putz like me. What is, no, seriously, Krueger, a putz, when it comes out of the pitcher's hand, I want you to tell our listeners, our audience, what it looks like and why it's so deceptive and so hard for professional hitters to hit that particular pitch.
Well, it comes out like a fastball, and there's no spin, so it's really tough to pick up. The split has a little bit of rotation on it. The forkball, like what Gilbert throws, has no spin. It's basically, he's taking the spin off the ball. So these pitches come in with less rotation, and then gravity grabs them and it throws them down below the strike zone. We play in a day and age of a higher strike zone. So the split was, I think, lost its flavor because we didn't have the lower strike zone anymore. So, but, over time, people realize that, being able to throw something that falls below the strike zone is still a great pitch, right? And when you can mix in the high fastball where there's lots of room to play, that's a pretty lethal combination. It just happens to be that Gosman and Lesevich are both on this team, and they both present really good split fingers. And it's our team is a cripple team. We're looking for the cripple situation. We got Naylor, who's a short swing, can smash the ball all over the ballpark with a short swing. Raleigh's very productive, but he's got his ups and downs, right? Rosarina has been out for lunch. We're a swing and miss team that hits homers. That's just who we are outside of Naylor. And honestly, he played Rivas. I like Rivas last year. Jason, I'm pretty sure that you would pull up what I had to say. I said, that guy's a good player. And they never liked him. And all of a sudden, he's out there every day. He's got a nice little compact swing. He could do something in this game tonight. I mean, I like him. I'm not saying he's going to, carry the team or anything, but he can come up with a big hit. He's capable of doing that because he can hit good pitching because he's got a short, compact swing. He looks more like Jays hitters. Naylor and Rivas look more like Jays hitters. That doesn't mean that we're not good because of the 6 guys that we present you. If you get behind the count or you walk a guy, you've got a problem because you better get ahead of all 6 of our guys because if they get in counts where they get comfortable knowing what you're going to throw, that's when crooked numbers start appearing. And hopefully the Mariners can run into a couple of them. They need time to do that. They need time to run into one. That's why it really comes down to, can our starting pitching outpitch their starting pitching? Who would have believed that they wouldn't? They should. They're better, but they haven't in this series, right?
We've seen the same lineup the last 2 nights. I expect probably to see the same lineup in Game 7. Would you change anything? Probably the only one move would be, do you make not for an offense, but for a defensive change, would you put Robles in right field starting off tonight?
No, they're probably going to play Canzone because they're going to hope he runs into one.
Okay.
He gives them another option of a guy that can run into one. I think you have to think defense once they get kind of in an even game and let Robles go back out there. I mean, they keep kind of waffling because they want one more at bat from Canzone because he can run into one, right? And that's our whole story. It's all about can he run into one? That's our whole team, right? Outside of Naylor and Rivas, can he run into one? Yeah, I think Robles presents better defense for sure. So in the late innings, I expect to see him out there for sure. Yeah. He's going to be in there. He's a big upgrade. Canzone, he's just average. He's just average out there, and we've seen him. He hasn't gotten the balls. He wasn't able to throw Kirk out at home plate. The guy's a truck and a trailer and another trailer, and still couldn't throw him out. Yeah. Right? I mean, he's got some work to do as an outfielder, but, he's had a great season. He's had a great season.
Yes,
he's gone from a guy that was a sketchy 4A player to a guy that can play and had a good year. So,
my worry about him a little bit again is just he looks really, really lost up there. Like his eyes tell me a lot of like I think he's had one hit maybe in this series, maybe 2. He just seems really lost. But I agree with you. He presents a better offensive piece for Dan Wilson than Robles does. But if once it gets later in the game, it's a defensive game and it's close, that you would assume Robles would be in there. All right, great stuff. We turned back the clock talking about old school on the phone. Yeah. The Old School Baseball Podcast. You can find it anywhere you get your fine podcasts. Also, check out Bill Krueger on _MLB. Can't wait for tonight, Game 7. This is what it's all about. This is why we love sports, and can't wait to sit down on the couch in your favorite chair with your favorite drink in hand and enjoy some baseball tonight. Have a great night, Bill, and we'll catch up soon. Thank you.
You too. Now, remember, folks, whatever you did on Friday, that's the pattern you want to have. What did you wear? Where did you go? What did you eat? That's the pattern. Go back to Friday.
You heard him. The same routine, fans. Thank you, Bill.
Drink Georgetown Tavern Beer, your new locally brewed domestic-style lager. 4.2% alcohol. Cheap, good, local.
There he is, Bill Krueger, host of the Old School Baseball Podcast, catching up with him early this morning. And there you go. He feels confident in where the Mariners are at with their pitching, with their pitchers, in terms of who they can use tonight and what will be available, and laid out a pretty good game plan there for George Kirby this afternoon, this evening. I hope everybody, it's just sports. It's rare you get these opportunities. They've never been here before. I think tonight is just going to be sensational. Obviously, it's going to be more sensational if they win. Thanks, Tips. But It's just, this is why you love watching it. And this is why they love to compete. And this is why they are in these moments. And who of these two rosters, who can embrace this type of pressure the most? Sometimes when you're the road team, there's not as much pressure on you because you're the road team. At home, they want to win it in front of their fans. They've got to deal with that environment themselves. There's a pressure for Toronto to deliver again. And then, for the Mariners in their roster, it's to do something that's never been done, to be the first group to do it. For Cal, for JP, for Julio, the cornerstones of this franchise, George Kirby, for them to deliver on something that people have been waiting, 48 years for. It's like Tim Booth wrote the other day in the Seattle Times, 48 and 27, two numbers that stick out. 48 years, and all you need is 27 outs. 27 outs there to get there. Now, you're like Jim, you think it could be more than 27 outs. But a big thanks to Bill Krueger. No Dugar report today. There's some massive internet outage in the world that's preventing the Dugar episode from being uploaded. When it does get up there, well, we'll probably scrap it anyways, just because by the time it's up there, game's probably over tonight and it's useless for tomorrow. I will tell you this. Dugar and I had a great chat. We talked about the matchup tonight, Seahawks and Texans. Going to be a physical game. Really, this is going to be the biggest test for the Seahawks tonight in terms of offensively what they can do. How many eyeballs will be on the Seahawks tonight? I mean, you'll have one eyeball on it a little bit, but boy, you're going to be right when they're kicking off. You're getting into the chewing the fingernails moment of the Mariners game. So how many people will actually be on that one and more focused on the Mariners? All right, let's wrap up the show as we always do with Hey, What the Puck, which is brought to you by Restoration One of North Seattle. To Restoration Company lets you avoid the stress of water, fire, and mold damage with their property restoration services. Locally owned and operated. Make them your first call when those damages affect your residential or commercial property. 206-817-8917. Visit them online at restoration1.com, the North Seattle franchise. We kind of touched on it a little bit there. Of course, we're going to have another little special video as we close it out. I got to do it again. Just makes me get all excited for the game. So our opening day montage is going to come up to close out the show. But have fun tonight. Embrace it. I want to see videos, especially if they win. I want videos sent into me at on Twitter, Puck Sports. You can email them, but just the best way to send them via Twitter there at Puck Sports. I want to see the celebration, where you're watching, the moment that they close it out and clinch, all of that. I'm going to play some of it coming up, or a lot of it coming up on tomorrow's show, which will blow kind of. Tomorrow's show will be very different than our normal Tuesdays, but I embrace it. It's fun, anxiety filled. This is what sports is all about. This is why you love it, the unpredictability of it, the surprise plays, the surprise heroes, all of the storylines that go into a Game 7. First ever time a Game 7 for these guys in their franchise history. And there always does seem to be a surprise hero of a player that you're not expecting to come through, and then they come through. I do believe, though, Game 7s are won by superstars. And I think your two superstars have got to be it. I think Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez tonight from an offensive perspective. JP Crawford as well. Guy's been there forever. They've got to deliver tonight. And when they've got moments like they did last night, I think if it arises again with a bases loaded situation, I think those guys are going to come through tonight. And then for George Kirby, I think George Kirby, we talked about this before with Divish. I think he's built for these moments. Yeah, the first outing was not great for George Kirby, but George Kirby, his first taste of the postseason, October 8th, 2022, 1 inning, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, closing out the Toronto Blue Jays, 10-9. They move on to the next round of the playoffs. I think for George Kirby, and again, it's just 1 inning, but it's that mindset to have the recall of how he felt that moment, the weight of the franchise on him at that time as even a younger pitcher than he is now, to carry it into tonight's game. you always get a feeling, right? I've had a feeling about Bryce Miller for some reason. Got the same feeling about George Kirby tonight. I think we're going to see a vintage George Kirby. How long we see him, we'll wait and see. But then it's all hands on deck. You get Brian Wu, you get Bryce Miller, you get Luis Castillo, you got everybody in the bullpen. And I just think top to bottom, with everyone that Dan Wilson can use tonight, will be the difference in the game. Have a blast wherever you're watching it, family, friends, whoever, and go M's. Before we go, let's play it one more time. We do it every opening day. Our opening day montage feels fitting to play it again here as we are hours away from Game 7. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, we're talking about a victorious game tonight and the Mariners' first trip to the World Series. Until then, as always, promise to be better.
They'll come to Iowa, races they can't even fathom. They'll turn up your driveway, not knowing for sure why they're doing it. They'll arrive at your door, as innocent as children, longing for the past.
25 years from now, you're going to want to say, I was there when Ken Griffey Jr. made his home debut. So don't forget that on Monday night. There's a drive into the gap in left center field and deep left center field. And Henderson's not going to get to it. It's off the base of the wall. And Griffey to second base in his first major league at bat. A ringing double off the 375 marker. And we have seen that all spring. Welcome to the show, Ken Griffey Jr.
Of course, we won't mind if you look around. You'll say, it's only $20 per person. They'll pass over the money without even thinking about it. Greatest money they have, and peace they like.
A man all alone with himself, but not all alone here, as 24,000 incredibly rabid Mariner fans are looking for that final strike. That will set Mariner history. Here comes the left-hander's wind. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing! It's over! He has done it! High fastball, Randy Johnson.
Walk out to the bleachers. Sit in shirt sleeves on a perfect afternoon. You'll find they have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines where they sat when they were children and cheered their heroes. And they'll watch the game. And it'll be as if they dipped themselves in magic waters. The memories will be so thick they'll have to brush them away from their faces.
Terrence Long is lead over at first. Here comes the 3-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and a ground ball punched into right field for a base hit. So heading to third base is Long. The throw to third base, and they've got him nailed at third base on a tremendous throw by Ichiro. I'm here to tell you that Ichiro threw something out of Star Wars down there at third base. He fired a shot about 3 feet off the ground all the way on the fly to David Bell, and Terrence Long was DOA. And now Sasaki is set. And now the right-hander is to the plate with the 0-2 to A-Rod. Swing! And a foul tip into the glove of Dan Wilson, who hangs on to it. And no baseball team in history has ever won more games than the Seattle Mariners.
One constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again.
2-1 pitch to Junior. Swung on line to the right field for a base hit. Around third, here comes Bradley. Junior has won the ball game.
Now the left-hander ready. Branding iron hot. The 1-2 pitch. K inserted. It's over right over the heart of the plate. Randy looks to the skies. That is covered by the dome.
Baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again. Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
They would love a base hit into the gap, and they could win it with Junior's speed in the stretch. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on and line down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy.
Here's Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues. My, oh my. Edgar Martinez with a double. Ripped down the left field line, and they are going crazy at the Kingdom.
No shoes, no ties.
Would anybody like to smoke some pot?
Yeah.
I was born to love. I was born to lick your face. I was born to rub you. But you were born to rub me first.
What do you need my address for? We'd like to send out a mailer.
Mother of mercy, I don't speak Japanese!